authority? Friends, forget Weber, forget sociology. In layman terms, it's an English word. What do you understand by authority? Raise your hands and speak. Sorry? So authority, according to him, is synonymous with power. Okay? Yes, brother. So you're saying it's somewhat limited control. Huh? Yes. You had raised your hand? Legal power. Authority, according to him, is legal power. Sorry? So you're saying authority is synonymous with leadership. The normal English sense of the usage of the term. Beti? Power and the right to give orders and make them obey. Okay. Brother? Interesting. He says it's the ability to influence others' decisions. Yes. Beti?
Also backed by sanctions.
Sorry?
Backed by sanctions.
Backed by?
Sanctions.
Okay, complete that. I understand what you're saying. What backed by sanctions?
Like the rule is backed by sanctions. Regulations which are given by the authority are backed by sanctions.
So whatever the authority is backed by sanctions.
Violated.
ठीक है. So backed by sanctions, likewise somebody else also said they can extract compliance. Okay.
Authority comes with responsibility.
अच्छा, ठीक है. So that famous quote from Spider-Man, है ना? Uncle Ben, I think it was. With great power comes great responsibility. So amazing, na? Like a fictional character, that was ID guy in a iconic movie. So power is associated with responsibility. Beti? Just and fair power. What do you mean by that? Which is legitimate to the subjects. Yes? That may be one of the functions, many functions of authority. But that's not like definitionally what authority is.
Legitimate power acknowledged by everyone. Be in terms of rights or
Legitimate power acknowledged by everyone. Is it, what is your sense, friends? Is power, authority acknowledged by everyone? Questionable. ठीक है. So we have some basic understanding of the English term authority. A lot of it is on the right track. One word which is frequently used almost synonymously with authority, or to explain authority, is power. Another simple English word, forget Weber. What is power? Yes, brother?
Follow my order, either through coercion or by other means.
Good. Power is his ability to make others do what he wants them to do. Whether coercively or say willingly. Good, very well expressed. Yes. सिनोनिमस विद, फिर हमें समझना पड़ेगा लीडर क्या होता है. छूटते ना. नहीं, वी आर नॉट गेटिंग इनटू दैट काइंड ऑफ दिस थिंग, डिस्टिंक्शन. या superiority, dominance, that is what is power about. See, power, firstly friends, please appreciate, power is what? As he very rightly pointed out, power is simply the ability of an individual or a social group to extract compliance. Thank you. To influence the behavior of others, to control the actions of others if need be. ठीक, that is simply power. It may be done coercively or without the application of coercion. ठीक. So, to understand authority, first we are understanding power. Now also appreciate, friends, so power is what? Simply the ability to have one's own, to impose one's will over others. That is power. जो मैं चाहता हूं वो हो, बेशक आप करना चाहते हो या ना करना चाहते हो, आप वो करो जो मैं चाहता हूं. That is my power over you. ठीक. Now first we need to appreciate power is not in absolute terms. Power is always relational. Power is a relational concept. Power is a relational concept. Meaning what? One holds power in relation to others. You don't say one holds power. So I can't say I have power. I will say I have power over my children as a father. Are you with me? Now if I go tell children elsewhere, eat your food, will they eat their food? Of course not. If I tell my children eat your food, they will hopefully eat their food. Are you with me? So I hold power as a father over my children, as a husband over my wife, and so on and so forth. Yes or no? So power is necessarily a relational concept. Clear? Secondly, please appreciate, power is not चलिए इसको आगे देखते हैं. पावर मे बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स. पावर मे बी ऑफ टू टाइप्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू वॉक आउट ऑफ द क्लासरूम एंड देयर इज अ gunda on the street. He puts a gun to your temple and says, you give me $2,000. Does he have power over you? Does the gunda have power over you? In other words, can he make you do stuff which you don't want to, irrespective of your will? Yes or no? How many of you will part with $2,000? Others also, please do. It's an earnest request. So you will comply when you have a gun to your temple. Temple matlab khopdi, not mandir. If you are confused with that. So he enjoys power. You go further ahead after giving $2,000 to the gunda. A traffic cop stops your car for jumping the red light, and he also hands you a challan for $2,000. Does he have power to extract compliance from you? Will you give him $2,000? Answer is yes. In both cases, you've parted with $2,000, presumably something you didn't want to do, because you were compelled to do so by another person. But there is a difference. In the first case, do you think that the Gunda had the right to or was justified in exerting that power over you? The answer is no. So the Gunda was exercising, in this example, what we call illegitimate power. Illegitimate power. Which is also called coercion. Illegitimate power or coercion. He was forcing you. He was coercing you or forcing you. Right? The cop, the traffic cop, on the other hand, was exercising legitimate power. Which is also known as authority. So what is authority? Authority is a form of legitimate power. Clear? So what makes the exercise of a power a form of authority is legitimacy. It is legitimacy. What is legitimacy? Do you think, by the way, that if you jump a red light, the traffic cop has is being fair and reasonable if he's handing you a challan? Yes? So that is legitimate authority. Clear? Now, what is legitimacy? Or what do you mean by legitimate, illegitimate? Yes? Sorry? Sorry? Recognized by the whole society. Accepted by the society. Whole society, not. Legal. One word which is often used to explain legitimacy is legality. But please appreciate, don't talk. Legality and legitimacy are not the same. It's a misconception. It's incorrect to confuse between the two. Common but incorrect. The two may go hand in hand, or they may not. Legitimacy means what? It means simply, हिंदी में बोलेंगे जायज. Illegitimate child, क्या बोलते हैं? नाजायज बच्चा. ठीक? So legitimacy means जायजता. जायज क्या होता है? That which is considered as reasonable, just and fair. That which is considered as just, fair and reasonable. That's not the complete understanding of the term legitimacy. Okay, we are slowly building on it. For example, in our example, okay, the one we've taken, the power of the street gunda, is it legal? No. Is it legitimate? No. So it is neither legal nor legitimate. Is the power of the traffic cop to challan you for overspeeding legal? Yes. Meaning, when we say it is legal, we mean what? It has a basis in law. कोई कानून है जिसके तहत वो आपका चालान काट रहा है. Clearly there is a legal framework, set of rules and regulations deriving from the laws of the land under which he is handing you over that challan. So it is legal or derived from law. Clear? Is it legitimate? Yes. Meaning, we consider that he has the designated authority to issue that challan. Are you with me? Does a husband in our society enjoy power over his wife? Yes or no? Yes or no? The answer is yes, he does. Now, so if a husband tells the wife that you won't be outside the home after 7 p.m. So he puts restrictions on her mobility. You will not wear this or that kind of clothing. Right? So he puts restrictions on her dress. You will not interact with other members of the opposite sex other than me. ठीक है? He puts certain such restrictions on the wife. Are they legal? Yes or no? No. Are they illegal? No. No. They are, we will say, non-legal. ना कानूनी है, ना गैर कानूनी है, or not in violation of the law है. Then we could have called it illegal. But it does not have a basis in law, or it is non-legal. Is it legitimate? Is it just, fair and reasonable? Yes or no? Legitimate है या नहीं है? Of a husband to tell his guy that this is what you should be wearing, or this is how you should be carrying yourself, etc., etc. Legitimate है या नहीं है? My response to that is, who the hell are you to decide that? Whether it is legitimate or not is the perception of those who are not the husband, not the exerciser of. उसके लिए तो हर ही legitimate होगी, ठीक है? मैं खून भी कर दूंगा, मैं कहूँगा मुझे पूरा अधिकार है, ठीक है? But by those who are subjected to that authority, by those who are subjected to that authority. So if it's a traditional household, the wife is of the view that इनको पूरा अधिकार है, मेरा अच्छा बुरा सब यही डिसाइड करेंगे, है ना, कि मैं कहाँ जाऊं ना जाऊं, कैसे कपड़े पहनूं ना पहनूं, कितना खाऊं ना खाऊं इत्यादि. Then it is legitimate. The power enjoyed by a husband over the wife's mobility, dress, etc. in a traditional society is legitimate. Legitimate in the eyes of the, not society, wife. Eyes of the wife. ठीक? In contrast, if the wife is a product of JNU, okay, and her husband tells her, तुम ये नहीं खा सकती, ये नहीं पी सकती, इनसे नहीं बात कर सकती, ये पहनोगी, ये नहीं पहनोगी. For her, the exercise of such power will be illegitimate, and you bet वो तो illegal भी कर के ही उसको अंदर करवा के मानेंगी. The point is, it is clearly illegitimate or considered as not just, fair or reasonable by those who are subject to it. Clear? So point is, friends, that legitimacy is a function of the perception of those who are subjected to that power. तो कहाँ कुछ लिखा था ना हमने, just, fair, reasonable? क्या लिखा था वो सेंटेंस? Legitimacy means, or legitimate power is that power which is considered as just, fair and reasonable by those who are subjected to it. That would be the complete understanding. ठीक है? एक सिंपल डेफिनेशन लिख लो. अथॉरिटी, एक्सक्यूज मी, authority is that power which is considered as just, fair and reasonable by those who are subjected to it. By those who are subjected to it. ठीक? Full stop. In brackets, right? Power is the ability of a person or a group to influence, determine or control the actions of others irrespective of their will. Irrespective of their will. ठीक? Clear? Also appreciate, friends, so we've discussed various combos or various conditions. We've discussed forms of power which are neither legal nor legitimate. We've discussed forms of power which are legal and legitimate, the corpus authority to issue you a challan. We've discussed forms of neither legal nor legitimate, the gunda's authority, power, not authority, the gunda's power to extract money from you. We've discussed forms of power which are not legal but legitimate. We've discussed power which is not legal and not legitimate. The power of the Government of India to frame rules and regulations governing our lives. Is it legal? Yes. Is it legitimate? Yes. What if you are not a BJP supporter? The ruling party presently is the BJP, right? And you are vehemently anti-BJP. Still, is it legitimate? Yes, it is. Why? Because you acknowledge the legitimacy of the broader system through which BJP has come to power. And as law-abiding citizens, you consider it your bounden duty to abide by the rules and regulations or laws laid down by any government, whichever is in power, even if it's not to your political taste, right? The power of the Indian government to station troops in Kashmir, is it legal?
Yes, sir.
Power of the Indian government to station troops in Kashmir, is it legal?
Yes, sir.
Is the power of the Indian government to station troops in Kashmir legitimate from the perspective of Azad Kashmir activists? For them, it is not legitimate. The Indian government, through the barrel of the gun, is muffling the voice of the people. Yes or no? It is coercing them. क्योंकि भारत की सरकार को कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि वो वहां के लोगों की बुलंद आवाज को बंद करे, ठीक है, या कुचले, according to the perspective of Azad Kashmir movement and activists. Clear? So that may be legal, but it is considered as illegitimate by a certain section of the society upon whom it is being exercised. Clear? According to Weber, authority can be of three types. Weber classifies authority into three types. First is traditional authority. Very simple. Traditional authority. Traditional authority means what? When, I'll make you write. First, let's understand. I'll dictate later. So what is traditional authority? Simply when an authority figure is obeyed because he occupies some traditional office. Okay? So simply because we bow, the followers consider that we must obey this figure because it is the tradition in our society. For example, the authority of monarchs, kings, is a classic example of traditional authority. So why did the people obey Aurangzeb? Because he is the son of Shah Jahan, whom our forefathers obeyed. And why was Shah Jahan obeyed? Because he is the son of Jahangir, whom our forefathers obeyed. And why was Jahangir obeyed? He is the son of, and so on and so forth. Are you with me? So that is a classic case of traditional authority. Simply people obey it because they consider it right to obey those or bow down before those who occupy an office based on a certain tradition. Take. A similar example or another example would be feudal lords. The authority that feudal lords enjoy in feudal society is also a form of traditional authority. It is passed on from one generation to the next. Okay? So one generation serves the lords of that generation because their forefathers served the generation of lords before them, and so on and so forth. So likh lo. Traditional authority dash when the followers obey authority because they believe in the rightness of obeying holders of traditional status. They believe in the rightness of obeying the holders of traditional status. Obeying those who hold traditional status. Full stop. Traditional authority structure typically involves a household of personal servants and a number of lords and nobles and a number of lords and nobles who swear allegiance I repeat, traditional authority structure typically involves a household of personal servants and a number of lords and nobles who swear allegiance to the monarch. Allegiance means loyalty. They pledge their loyalty to the king. So typically ऐसा होता है, राजा का एक वो होगा हाउसहोल्ड ऑफ पर्सनल सर्वेंट्स जिसमें दास दासियां होंगे, खानसामा होगा, blah blah, and then they will have various mantris who would be nobles and lords, etc., who swear their allegiance to the king. Now, what is the role and what are the powers, etc., of different authority holders in this traditional authority structure? Is it arbitrarily set by the Raja? Or is it fixed? कौन बोला? क्यों बोले? Why is it fixed? हाँ, I know, it was a female voice. हाँ. Why is it fixed? So it is up, is it, that's what I'm asking, is it based on the whims and fancies of the king? तो fixed नहीं है ना, in that sense. Is it based on the whims and fancies of the ruler, or is it a given? Sorry? It is based on traditions. Yes. So the king does not have this arbitrary, this thing. Okay? And king's own powers? Does he enjoy absolute power, the monarch, in a monarchy? Or his powers are also circumscribed? Circumscribed by what? By tradition. So he also has to follow the tradition. Why? Because that's the source of his own legitimacy. So he can't disband tradition, he can't denounce tradition. Are you with me? He also must subscribe to whatever the tradition says, because that is the source of the legitimacy of his authority. तो लिखो, क्या लिखा है लास्ट सेंटेंस बिटिया? ठीक है, full stop. In traditional authority structures, the roles and obligations governing the conduct of various authority holders are defined by customs and traditions. I repeat, in traditional authority structures, the rules and obligations governing the conduct of various officials, authority holders, is determined by customs and traditions, but may be modified by the king. May be modified by the king. Full stop. Typically, monarchs also do not enjoy absolute authority. As his powers are also, I repeat, typically monarchs also do not enjoy absolute authority or unlimited authority, as his powers are also circumscribed, limited by tradition. ठीक, ये है traditional authority structure. Right examples: monarchy, feudal lords, etc. The second type of authority is charismatic authority. Charismatic authority. Another example, say the authority enjoyed by elders in a traditional society. हम बड़ों की क्यों सुनते हैं? क्योंकि हमारे बड़े भी अपने बड़ों की सुनते थे और वो भी अपने बड़ों की सुनते थे. हमारे समाज में बड़ों की हमेशा से सुनी जाती है, इसलिए हम बड़ों की सुनते हैं. ठीक. Charismatic authority. Forget Weber, forget sociology. Let's talk in plain English sense of the word. What do you understand by this word charisma? Beti? Personality. And I'm presuming you're saying a very good personality. Of course, है ना? A very awesome, influential personality. Charm. One sec, huh? Charisma is... One sec. Charisma, you were saying, is personality. Charisma is charm. Brother? That's a very interesting, good way to put it. Enchanting influence. What do you mean by that? Can you like simplify that for us? A sense of awe. बिल्कुल नहीं, सही बात है. Enchanting. Very beautiful usage of the term. हाँ. और what is charisma? People we look up to. How satisfactory is that, people? Are charismatic people those who we look up to? Let's see. और बताइए. So, ठीक है, you are trying to, I mean, tell me the nature of this thing. Tell me more substantively what is charisma. Positive aura. That's a wonderful word, huh? He has a positive aura. What do you mean by this aura? Positive vibes. So are you suggesting people who are very amenable or simply likable? Are you suggesting it's likable people?
No, like people, of course, a person having a good aura, positivity is likable.
But is that the same as having charisma? No. What's the difference then?
Maybe a person who also carries some sort of an influence and authority and charm, exact. All of these words, total in totality.
In totality, Beti? We aspire. So people we look up to, I think you're suggesting. Yes, brother? Fascinating. That's a fascinating word actually. Why should like certain people like fascinate us? Fascinate us मतलब कोई नई दुनिया थोड़ी ना है, ये तो एक व्यक्ति ही तो है at the end of the day. How are certain people, what you're saying, and I'm just seeking a clarification, in what ways certain people can be fascinating? Have you met anybody whom you regard as fascinating? Fascinating banda tha ya bandi thi? Yeah? Are there people who are very attractive? That's very flattering. But also perhaps because we don't yet have a clear understanding of what charisma is. Brother? Superiors. What makes a somebody charismatic? Yes.
Someone who can extract compliance and mobilize people en masse.
Who can mobilize people. So are you saying mass-based leaders are charismatic?
They are the front-runner example, I would say.
Okay. So those who can mobilize a large number of people. But on what basis? Yes, Betty?
Someone with unique features or abilities.
Somebody with
Unique features or ability.
unique features, as in what? Like physical features?
Physical or ability from ability also.
What kind of features? Say if I have 6 fingers instead of 5, does that make me?
I can give it rough.
Huh?
People with different colored eyes.
She's saying her example of charismatic persons is people with different colored eyes. भूरी भूरी आंखें होती हैं कुछ लोगों के, किसी की ग्रे बिल्ली जैसी आंखें होती हैं, नीली नीली झील जैसी आंखें होती हैं. Are these charismatic people? Or let me say, are charismatic people those who are attractive? Are they like good looking, charming? Do they have like the good personalities? Huh, brother? Huh? So Yogi Adityanath, would you say he's a charismatic leader or a person? You may or may not agree with his politics. Okay, that's a different matter altogether. I'm not asking whether you are a supporter of Yogi Adityanath, but is he a charismatic leader? Is he good looking? Attractive? In contrast, say a Hrithik Roshan. Okay? He has a wonderful personality, or a Katrina Kaif. Both of them have wonderful personality, are superb, good looking, attractive. In contrast, you have people like a Yogi Adityanath, a Modi, a Lalu Yadav, or a Gandhi, the original Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. Wait, let's keep that out of this thing. Which of these two categories, people like Hrithik Roshan, Katrina Kaif, Aishwarya Rai, or whatever, in one block, these guys are good looking, attractive, good personality, etc., very, very charming. Yes or no? Are these persons charismatic? Hrithik Roshan वगैरह, do they have charisma? They don't. Then you have a very incorrect, respectfully, you have an incorrect understanding of what is charisma. Please appreciate. In contrast, a person like Narendra Modi, Yogi Adityanath, or Mahatma Gandhi, okay, they are, bluntly put, ugly. Yes or no? Far from good looking. One author I read writing on Mahatma Gandhi, he said he was born with a face only a mother could love. Okay? And so clearly not very attractive, etc. people. But the latter category are clearly charismatic individuals. Yes or no? What makes somebody charismatic? Is it public speaking skills? Those who are, orators par excellence, are they charismatic? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Please appreciate. Though a good number of charismatic persons have been found to possess this trait, many do not. You hear one of the most charismatic persons in modern Indian history, Mahatma Gandhi. He was a below average public speaker. Below average. Less than ordinary. You Google and go to YouTube, search for his speeches. The audios are there. He speaks in a very uninspiring, should I say, kind of a manner. No rhetoric, not rousing kind of speeches. He speaks like, मैं तो एक बड़ा सीधा साधा इंसान हूँ. That's really how he speaks. Very uninspiring, to say the least. Huh? On the other hand, you do have people like a Modi, who are good or excellent orators. But it is not the defining criteria for charisma. charisma is a very, firstly, what I want to drive home is charisma is not something which is very commonly found in a population. It's a very rare kind of a trait. It's a very rare kind of a trait. It's not even or only a function of success. There are far more successful persons in their respective fields than those who are regarded as charismatic. Charismatic persons are those who inspire literally a devotion amongst their followers. Are you with me? They kind of command a blind adherence to their path. That is the kind of emotional connect which charismatic persons are able to establish with a mass of people. That is why, friends, other political leaders have followers, but Modi ji has bhakts. Literally. Because he has that aura. An aura is much more than just positive vibes. Positive vibes my office secretary may have. I like to meet her every day when I come in. She smiles, it's pleasant and everything. It's far more than that. That the charismatic person can almost arouse a devotion in the followers. He is able to establish an emotional connect. And the followers start believing that their lives can be fundamentally transformed for the better. अपने जीवन की बागडोर इसके हाथ में दे दो, ये नैया पार लगा देगा. पता नहीं कैसे, बट कुछ तो है इसके पास जादू की छड़ी कि ये हमारी नैया पार लगा देगा. Are you with me? So charisma is not about looks or personality or even your ability to deliver speeches in public. Okay, it is far more about establishing that connection with the mass of people so as to arouse almost a devotion towards the charismatic individual. This, the origins of the word charisma is from a religious context. करिश्मा किसके पास है? जो करिश्मा करते हैं. So, the founders of various major religions were charismatic figures. A Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad. Sorry? Oh, Hindu, mythological figures. Huh? Or a Marx, a Guru Nanak, Gautam Buddha. They literally had that aura which is represented symbolically in paintings and drawings with that chakra or that halo behind their heads. Are you with me? Now, of course, this concept of charisma has gone far beyond only the domain of religion. Now we associate it also with political figures, military leaders, yes or no? Philosophers, and so on and so forth. Clear? But mind you, charisma is a very rare kind of a trait. Clear? It's not something, every Tom, Dick and Harry would possess. It's not something you will find on every nukkad or choraha. ठीक है? Modern parlance में, in say in media, etc., you may have heard this phrase, the X factor. That he possesses or she has the X factor. X factor matlab we can't really pinpoint or lay our finger on, what is it about her that's so compelling, so that draws us to her. Are you with me? That is what is charisma. Some sort of a compelling power in the persona, not the personality, but in the persona of a person. Clear? है ही थोड़ी ये mystical सी quality. That's why it's not clear. ठीक है? But can we say or mention some leaders who were indisputably charismatic? Or are? Or were? Hitler, Mahatma Gandhi. Yes? Subhash Chandra Bose. Sorry? Kalam again not a very good public speaker. A prolific speaker but not a good speaker. ना काफी वो पब्लिक स्पीचेस देते थे बट बहुत अच्छा नहीं बोलते थे. हाँ. Sachin Tendulkar. But then again, are all cricketers, successful money minting cricketers, charismatic? No. Or Sachin Tendulkar or possibly MS Dhoni, yes. Huh? Sorry? Sandeep Maheshwari? Acha, that motivational guy. I don't know. Possibly for a lot of people. Yes? Nelson Mandela. Obama. ठीक है. Huh? So good. We have a good number. And acha, while writing in the exam, don't mention the current crop of political leaders. Modi is clearly charismatic. Yogi, for a lot of people, is charismatic. But avoid. ठीक है? Mention dead and safe ones. And there are plenty. Right? Standard ones like Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. इस टाइप के. कौन? हाँ, नेहरू इज ऑल्सो, है ना. पटेल, ये सब चलेंगे. और क्राइस्ट एंड प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद, गुरु नानक, इस टाइप के बढ़िया लोग. हाँ, नन ऑफ द लिविंग. या so often it may happen that charisma may be revealed post-mortem or after death, like in the case of Karl Marx. For a very large number of people, he is a great source of inspiration. His writings, his theory, the framework, his analysis is inspirational beyond measure. A lot of people, for example, may not have come in contact with a गुवेरा. इंडिया में आपको यूपी में बलिया में लोग मिल जाएंगे गुवेरा की टी शर्ट पहने हुए. यस और नो? ये है उसका करिश्मा. हाँ ब्रदर, पता नहीं. आई डोंट थिंक, क्लियरली नॉट अ say for a good example, I would say. I'm not saying just because he is a negative figure. A Hitler again is a negative figure in various senses, but he's clearly regarded as a charismatic figure. ठीक है? चलिए, so we get the drift. लिखिए. Charismatic authority. Charisma refers to perceived supernatural or superhuman qualities perceived supernatural or superhuman qualities, or at least, continue writing in the same breath, or at least exceptional qualities in a leader, which inspire people to establish an emotional connect with him and they obey him on that basis. give a couple of examples, safe ones. Mahatma Gandhi, Guru Nanak, Jesus Christ, Kalam, good number of examples. Full stop. Next para. In case of charismatic authority, how would you rate Anna Hazare? Anna Hazare during the India Against Corruption campaign? Charismatic? Did he have a large or a fairly large following? Yeah. Was his authority traditional or whatever? No. It was his charisma. He inspired a sense of awe, he inspired obedience amongst the followers because they believe that he has some jadoo ki chadi which can help transform their lives for the better. He can wipe out corruption from India with the waving of a wand. Right? क्या लिखा है बेटी? In case of charismatic authority, the authority structure is fluid and ill-defined. Fluid and ill-defined. Fluid and ill-defined. Full stop. There is no clear hierarchy of officials. There is no clear hierarchy of officials and no general rules which are applied. When we say it's fluid and ill-defined, what do we mean? That, in stark contrast to, say, traditional authority or the next type of authority structure that we will discuss. Say bureaucracy. Okay? In a traditional authority or in a bureaucratic structure, there is a fair degree of permanence. Yes or no? So you have clearly defined offices or posts, steady sources of revenue to sustain that administration. Are you with me? Clearly laid down rules and regulations, etc. Which is missing in case of charismatic authority structures. Why? Because charismatic authority structures pop up, if I may use that term, when people start perceiving certain individuals as having charismatic qualities. Are you with me? So, say in case of the India Against Corruption movement, okay, Anna Hazare was the undisputed leader of the movement, charismatic fellow who inspired a lot of people to join the anti-corruption campaign, right? Then there was a second rung of leaders, a Kejriwal, a Kiran Bedi, and Kumar Vishwas, etc. Some of them may possess somewhat lesser charisma of their own, like say a Kiran Bedi. She did possess a charisma of her own, yes or no? Being the first female IPS officer and blah blah. But then you also had an Arvind Kejriwal. He had done some work as an RTI activist, etc. But it was not seen as charismatic. So what would such leaders do? They would bask in the charisma of the leader. They would reflect the charisma of the leader. So he will try to have some shine whereof from Anna Hazare, the undisputed charismatic leader, and reflect upon him. Simply he would sit at the feet of Anna Hazare as the Nehru to his Gandhi. Yes or no? Ki jaise, Nehru was the younger fellow and following in the path shown by the ideologue, the Gandhi. Likewise, I am the younger guy, the doer. I'll put into action whatever Anna ji says. Are you with me? And that is how he developed a charisma sort of on his own, of his own. Okay? But there's no permanence. You would have people going in and coming out, like in the anti-corruption movement. You had, for example, I think Sri Ravi Shankar associated with the movement for a while, but then he backed off. You had other people, likewise, associated for a bit, and then Ramdev joined the movement, Baba Ramdev, for a while, and then he branched out, and so on and so forth. So there is no clear, well-laid authority structure except the head figure, who is, the source of all that charisma. Clear? So there is a lot of fluidity in the authority, in the charismatic authority structure. Clear? Full stop. क्या मतलब हुआ? खुद के कुछ बोलने के बाद full stop. In any case, I mean, लिखो, आगे लिखो. In charismatic authority structures, there are typically no clear and well-defined sources of revenue. Revenue, mind you, is very important to sustain any organization, any authority structure. Do traditional authority structures have a steady source of revenue? And say, do modern bureaucracies have a steady source of revenue? Modern governments? You bet they do. Right? But charismatic authority typically does not have a regular, steady, well laid out source of revenue. Full stop. So it typically relies upon charity or plunder, loot. ठीक? The third type of authority is rational legal authority. Rational legal authority. First I'll explain, then I'll dictate the same thing. What is rational legal authority? Simply when an authority figure or authority holder is obeyed because what is the source of legitimacy? Law. Either it is a legal framework or it is a set of rational rules, regulations or considerations. Are you with me? People believe in their rightness of the legal framework or the rational rules and considerations from which that authority holder derives his power. Are you with me? That is why they obey him. For example, the traffic cop who chalans you. Why do we obey him? Does he have charisma? क्या हम उसके तेज से आकर्षित हो जाते हैं, मनमोहित हो जाते हैं? हाँ? Clearly not. Do we obey? Is he a holder of traditional authority? कि हमारे बाप दादा ने उसके बाप दादा को? No. Then it is rational legal authority. Because we subscribe to, we are in agreement with the legal framework from which the tax inspector or the traffic cop draws his authority. Yes or no? Clear? तो लिख लो. Rational legal authority is obeyed by the followers because it is derived from a legal framework rational rules and considerations. Rational rules and considerations which are considered as just, fair, and reasonable by the followers. ठीक है? Give a couple of examples, such as the authority of the traffic cop, the tax inspector, the civil servant, the judge. Yes or no? In modern societies. Is what? Rational legal authority. Now, I want to discuss or share a bit with you about the nature of charismatic authority. Charismatic authority, friends, by its very nature, it is short-lived. Charismatic authority is short-lived. Say, unlike say traditional authority or क्या नाम है तुम्हारा, rational legal authority. Why is it short-lived? Because it emanates from the person. Certain perceived superior qualities in the person. Are you with me? So at most, charismatic authority will end with when? With the death of the charismatic person or leader. Yes or no? Traditional authority will continue. One king, Babur dies, replaced by Humayun, replaced by Akbar, Jahangir, and so on and so forth. The traffic cop, one is shunted out, another will replace him. One dies, another will replace him. Yes or no? So there's a lot of permanence associated with the other two structures. But charismatic authority, because it emanates from the perceived qualities of the leader, it is necessarily short-lived. At best, it ends with the death of the leader. Or it may end sooner. It may also end sooner. How sooner? These are perceived exceptional qualities of the leader. Please appreciate. So if the followers stop perceiving exceptional qualities in the leader, then the charisma wanes, even when the guy is alive. For example, Asha Ramji Bapu. Yes or no? Did he have charisma in his heydays? You bet he did. He did sway the minds of lakhs of people and he inspired devotion in them. Yes or no? But that charisma waned, declined, or many followers stopped perceiving charisma in him when there were allegations of sexual misconduct. Are you with me? And subsequent incarceration, etc. For some, he still may be a charismatic person, falsely implicated and blah blah. But for many, the charisma has subsided. Okay? So, charismatic authority, friends, point is, by nature it is short-lived. At best, it dies with the death of the charismatic leader. Clear? Now tell me, Jesus Christ has died. Has his charismatic authority ended with his death? No. Mahatma Gandhi has died. Has his authority ended with him? No. So friends, what happens that in many instances, charismatic authority transforms into traditional authority or rational legal authority. Are you with me? And then it sustains beyond the death of the leader. And this process, friends, is known as routinization of charisma. लिखवा दूंगा, लिखो, सिंपल चीज है. Routinization of charisma. Dash. Routinization of charisma refers to the process wherein charismatic authority is transformed into traditional authority or rational legal authority. Full stop. While charisma is short-lived, comma, routinization of charisma enables charismatic authority to sustain beyond the lifetime of the charismatic leader. ठीक? Full stop. For example, give a couple of examples. The charismatic authority of Jesus Christ has been transformed into which type? Traditional authority. Yes or no? Of the church and the Christian way of life, simply. Which is till date followed by millions of Christians across the globe. ठीक? The charismatic authority of Prophet Muhammad is transformed into which type? Sorry? Traditional authority in the sense of the Islamic way of life, followed by millions of Muslims across the globe. Also, rational legal authority. Why? Because his teachings are the basis of the law in many Islamic countries. Yes or no? Clear? Hi friends. I seek your attention if you want to go home on time. Not exactly on time, but on time meaning थोड़ा time से. Can we stop the picnic? But no, I don't know, like pull it out of your mouth literally, but don't continue with it, wrap it up. Chaliye, tell me friends, which is the most common or most prevalent form of authority in modern society? Traditional authority? Charismatic authority are here. It is rational legal authority. Clearly. Okay? Rational legal authority is the most prevalent form of authority structure in modern societies. And the form it takes is bureaucracy.